Whoa. Okay. So hopefully everything is set up. I was just about to go live, and then a whole bunch of technical things happened, but I guess good thing before the stream because we sorted those out. I get a minivan. I have a 22 Sienna. This is mine, and we're going to be doing ceramic, of course, because I was debating on actually not doing it for a little bit. And then I drove it in the sun, and I was like, and now we're going to put ceramic on it. So how y'all doing today? This should be a fun one. Is your family okay? Yeah, that's gonna be a really popular question based on that title. Yes. So the idea here is we're gonna be protecting it with ceramic, and I know I'm gonna get that question a lot. Maybe it's too far of a title. Thank you for the concern, though. Is that too much? Is that too much? I don't know, because the whole idea here is ceramic is more than just tint, right? We're doing heat protection on the whole thing. So you got kids sitting in the back, family up front, you know, like just pets, family, it's way better. It's way better. Thinking about going Apex. I think we're actually going to do Pro Nano. I missed the intro. Kids are coming. We do have a car seat already in there. I have a little one, so we need to do some ceramic on this. Can we see some 5%? No 5% on this. This also needs to be safe to drive, because I'm not going to be the only person driving this thing. I would like to do 35 on the windshield, but we have to do something practical, something safe. We're getting to that point in our lives where, you know, we got a minivan, yo. There's something wrong with the order. It's been 12 days since it's been out. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm sorry. That was the international one. I know there's been a delay. I don't know if it's gonna get to you. So I know I still gotta message you about it. I'm still trying to sort out the whole address and everything. That was the international one going to, like, Australia, right? Congrats. I knew that made sense. I have a problem with the side and rear doors on a Mercedes E-Coupe. Mercedes, some of the coupes are really, really difficult. I think that got mentioned before. And I didn't know if it was for sure going to be that coupe. But, yeah, I myself have had problems on Mercedes coupes because sometimes you open the doors and then the back quarters end up sliding up and down a little bit. Yeah, it's not super fun. How's the new Sienna? We're going to take a little tour. It's good. It's really good. There's definitely things about it. I mean, it's a tough minivan to beat. When you start shopping in the minivan realm here in the U.S., there's nothing that really comes with all-wheel drive. That was a big concern, was all-wheel drive. Lots of snow. Ever since I started doing all-wheel drive vehicles, I'm never getting anything else, because getting stuck, dealing with all that slip-sliding crap, dude, you get all-wheel drive, and it doesn't matter anymore. This one in the Pacifica. I mean, we don't have a lot of choice here, but this one in the Pacifica are the only ones with all-wheel drive anyways. So we take a little tour. It looks smaller. Oh, this thing has a ton of space on the inside, especially the back. I'm going to show you the back. All right, hang on one second. Oh yeah, we gotta do... Whoa! Surprise!
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Gumustakuya.
Daniel Rayner with the 10, thank you.
We are
got my jack plotter set up. Very nice.
Software from Digicuts. Got software compatible with my new iMac.
That's good. That's really good. Hope you like the software. And glad to hear that it's also compatible with Macs. That's something I wasn't too sure. I mean, Macs are way more popular than they were in years past, but with some of these softwares, there can be little hiccups like that. But glad to hear that it's going well. I updated the address. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because if I send it out again, though, I had to refund everything, including the shipping, so I was at like $50 on that order. I don't want to just kind of risk it again. I just got to double check. I'm looking at, what was it? I'm looking at building today, 9.5 cars, utilities included, $1,200 a month. Sound like a decent deal. 9.5 cars for $1,200 a month? What's the square footage? This place is 3,300 square feet, and it's $2,400 a month for reference. So it sounds like you're doing pretty well on that one, I'd say. All right, we got some stuff to do. We got a spray tank to fill. So I didn't put soap in this yet, mostly because I have a little bit of time to stream this one. So there's a few things we're going to get set up. Excuse some of this mess. This is all from technical difficulties. When you're dealing with wireless cameras, any number of things could cause the whole thing to be a problem. And turns out that it was a cable. Luckily, I had a way to bypass it. All right, so we're going to fill up soap here. This is Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. We're going to go about, it's a 3-gallon tank. You usually use about an ounce per gallon, but I use less water than that. But I use a fair amount of soap. So that's about, I don't know, something like that. That should be pretty good. Probably a little much. And we just drop all that in there. Some of you guys asked about that. That's about what I do. It's probably a little excessive. But that's okay, because more is not a bad thing. It's when you don't have enough that it can be a really bad thing. All right. So I've been filling this up a little bit more too. Been putting anywhere from like 80 to 90 in it. I had that thing for the longest time set at 60. I gotta set up my headphone here. Canon. Alright, let's bump this one up. And I guess let's leave that one on 100. It's weird tinting with 2 headphones. I used to do that. A lot more. But the noise canceling is kind of a little trippy. So I usually have this filled ahead of time because I like to get going on this. But we can take a little tour. Not like most of you probably care. But you know what? If you got family and you're in the market for a minivan, man, this thing has some stuff that I'm pretty happy about. Also, some things that Toyota does that I'm not so happy about. It has automatic sliding doors, which aren't working. What is this? Is it broken now? Is that it? Oh, there it goes. Okay. This remote has terrible range. I have to be within like 30 feet of this thing for this to work. Way worse than a lot of the other remotes that I've had. When we go into here, it's got the old Toyota system, which is not exciting either. But it does have CarPlay. So Android Auto, CarPlay, but I mean, where is it? Map. I mean, at least it's on dark mode right now. But when you take it, this screen is so pixely. It's just, all these little things kind of make me laugh. We got to turn this on anyways to tint it. So we're going to make sure some of these things are off. Radio's all the way down. Headlights, of course, off. But all of this stuff here is really, really cool. Just the cubbies, the storage. I mean, that's what it's for. That's why you get one of these things, right? You get storage for days down here. It's got a bunch of USB ports for charging. And these seats are super fun because they just, look at how far back. They'll go even farther back than that, which is crazy. So if you come back here, if you're looking for a tint mobile, man, this thing has a whole heck of a lot of space. We put like 3 cases of water and a whole case of something else down here. Seats, I know you guys don't really care that much, but if you're in the market for oh, we gotta roll that forward a little bit. We're getting ahead of ourselves. And then, don't tuck away. Don't tuck away. Oh yeah! Living the dad life right here. Look at how many tint boxes do you think you could stuff in there? You could stuff a whole heck of a lot and more. So, plenty of space, which is nice to actually get this thing tinted. But from a tinter's perspective, there's a couple of things that aren't so fun, right? So we have these quarter windows, and it's already yelling at me. I know, it's because you didn't see the key anymore, probably. So we have these quarter windows here. These are the famous gasket type quarter windows that I'm not a super big fan of. So being that they're on my own, I just gotta look at them all the time. I'm gonna be extra picky on it. The roll down's super simple. This windshield, it's a little bit bigger. It's got a big old matrix border though, and a cutout. So I'm not gonna remove any of this. There's a lot of safety systems in here. So we're just gonna be cutting around and not trying to get the mirror or anything out of the way. Still, it's plenty open up enough. The panels get a little bit tighter in some spots. Down along the bottom, it'll be a little bit tough to get a rope in here. We might pull it towards the end when we go for installation. Sunroof, it's just got a little guy here. This will be really easy to tint. We'll be doing that in the future. As far as these back doors go, this is easily what is going to be the biggest headache on a vehicle like this. So if we stuff ourselves in here and then we close it, this part's easy, and then they do something like this. I have a little trick for handling what are they called? The other ones, the Pacificas, Caravans. There's just a lot of plastic in here. So these windows will go down to about here. And there's just a lot of plastic paneling in the way. And it's really tough to get a tool back there. I think there'll be a way to probably pop that plastic panel off. But there should be some metal framing in here too as well. Looks like there's a little push pin. So we might be able to do something about that. Kind of want to do a little research before I just go trying to yank my own vehicle apart, because I actually want to keep this thing nice. Spray tank's full, and now we're gonna get to the fun stuff. Oh no, did we not fix it? Yikes, that's not good. Okay, we're gonna deal with this as best we can. So, yeah, that's better. So, hopefully this Australia's international mail is suspended. My eBay orders are not showing up either. Sorry if it doesn't send, I'll update the address, but if it returns again, I'll pay you $50. I have a strong feeling it'll work this time. I'm desperate. That is, see this right here, this is kind of what I was thinking was a problem. It wasn't just the address, that there's more to it. There's just a big problem with international shipping in general. So when these types of things happen, I don't I don't really know until somebody unfortunately goes through a problem. I wish there was something more I could do, but it's just kind of the times that we're living in. It was kind of a mess before, but at least things showed up. Some things would show up easily like month and a half from the ship date, and there's nothing I can do about it. I wish I had better news. But I'll look into it a little bit more. I'm just not a big international shipper. Oh, and this interior's fun. So we have black seats with the two-tone, and hopefully these won't get disgusting too fast, but like I like how everything's dark, including the headliner, and then they put these two. Makes me feel a little bit more special when I own a van. Good stuff. Where's this? You can stop the doors from auto-closing and opening. I could stop it like partway through, yeah. You can't put back on after tinting because you have to roll back down. So either way, I have to heat it up really good in order to roll it down and reinstall. I could be wrong. You can't just put back on after tinting. What part? What's the horsepower? You know what I didn't pay attention to? The horsepower. They'd say it's zippy, and then I drove it, and it's a van. It does get an insane amount of gas mileage, though. I don't have to fill up the tank to like 550 miles because it's a hybrid. So that's kind of nuts. Also, I can remote start it from my phone. That is something that I haven't been able to do. I was talking about the bulky trim piece. Oh, do you know how to take it out? You can't just put it back on after tinting because you have to roll the window back down. So either way, heat it up really good in order. Could be wrong. Oh, as far as popping it off, though, you take out that push pin and will it actually just pop out, or do I have to remove the whole panel? I've done one before. You have to remove the bolt and the trim. Yikes. Then I'll probably just tint around it and just do the best I can. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Because on the Pacificas, you can actually, it's clipped, and there's a black piece, and you can just, it's kind of a, like, oh yeah. So here we go. So this thing looks like it'll come out, and then obviously that's part of a push pin. This whole wiggly piece, I mean, it's detached from the main panel, but whether or not there's something that actually is kind of clipped into here too, and you have to pull the panel to remove that, I don't know. As long as it can move from low speeds rather quickly. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it can. It's all right. It's a van. What can you do? Like, if you're comparing this just to the Blazer, it's like there's a lot more in the Blazer. I wouldn't even say the Blazer is like amazing, but it's very similar to just other vans. So this is the XSE model. It's pretty similar to like the Limited and the Platinum. There's just some like material differences. As far as like all the features, really, really similar. But the main things, it's got lots of space. It'll be a comfy cross-country vehicle for family trips. That's the main thing right there. 245 horsepower. Is that this one? Oh yeah, 245. I think there's a nut behind the push pin facing the glass. So it can be removed if it's rolled all the way down. Okay. I'll look into it. We're mainly concerned today about the front, so the roll downs, the quarters, and the full windshield. And then we'll kind of see where we're at for the back of it. Those back 3 windows wouldn't be a big deal. But when you're talking about those quarter window or like the big sliding door roll downs, that's going to take a little bit of time. So we may do this in a couple of sections. Especially with a couple of technical issues. Why did you choose to get a shop and not work from home anymore? Because the city gave me a letter and they said you're not allowed to work from home. You're not allowed. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. Wife and I have been looking at these. Oh, okay. Well, no, I appreciate it. These are some of the things that, like, you would think that I'd pay closer attention to, but I just didn't. I mean, as far as minivan shopping right now, it's kind of slim pickings. It always has kind of been in the U.S. It's like you have the Honda Odyssey, you have the Sienna, and you have, like, the Pacifica. So right now, with the current state of things, it's just hard. It's just hard to get it's hard to get one right now. So we reserved this like a month ago, and it came sooner than expected, and we're just kind of like, all right, I guess we'll go check it out, and we'll probably end up getting it. Have you considered the Kia Carnival? Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Yep, yeah, we did. I watched some videos of it. It seems like it's a real cramped minivan. There's some things about it that I wasn't too keen on. So we ended up going for some. We were kind of deciding between like the Odyssey and the Sienna, and then all-wheel drive was like the biggest differentiator there because you can't get an Odyssey in all-wheel drive. So if you drive somewhere more down south, you don't really have to worry about it as much. Here, dude, it'll just be a matter of time before, you have to drive against some snow in this thing. And I'd rather just have all-wheel drive, so I didn't have much choice. Why didn't you get a Tahoe? This has more space. Toyota's a solid choice. Yeah, as far as like vehicle brand reputation, reliability, and all that, yeah. I mean, we got a 9-year warranty on this thing too. So we're thinking pretty long-term into the future with something like this. They're all expensive nowadays. But, so like Tahoe was a thought, and there's no way around it. With the Tahoe and some of the other vehicles, like, they're good, they're solid. I like them a lot, and it's just more family stuff. Suburban has more space. The Suburban's much longer. You have kids, you get a minivan. So this isn't our only vehicle. I still have a Blazer. The Blazer is on a lease. That's up in not next summer, but I don't know, a couple years now. So we're going to have this, and then we're going to have the Blazer. And then the Blazer is more like that more fun to drive type of vehicle. So whenever I go to trade that in, I'm going to get something that's going to be probably more fun. Could be midsize SUV like it is now. Could be something different, but it's definitely not going to be another minivan. So this isn't the only thing that we got. There's going to be something else that's probably a little bit more fun in the future. But this is what it is for now, and I like it. Did you trade in the Blazer? No. No, I don't have the Explorer anymore. So we ended up selling the Explorer a little while back, and so we've only had the Blazer for a period of time. I don't think we really waited till a point where vehicles were significantly cheaper. But there's some reasons to take some family trips, and doing that in the Blazer. Blazer's got like 10,000 miles on lease a year. That's a little light to be driving that far. So I usually like to own the vehicles just so mileage wasn't a concern. But we haven't had to drive near as much. But now we have one that's more like low miles lease, fun for around where we live, and when we actually want to take a family adventure, this is what we're doing. Wanting a truck, but people are selling like 8 to 10-year-old trucks with 150K plus for 35,000. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, everything's ridiculous right now. That's just the market. Just supply chain shortages everywhere. Vehicles are hard to get. If you walk into a Toyota dealer, I mean, I'm sure it's the same with a lot of other ones, but especially on like unique vehicle types, dude, it's a ghost town. They just don't have inventory. They have a bunch of salespeople sitting around, and then with like nothing to sell. Everything's on reserve, and the demand is not slowing down, and we're coming into the holiday season. So, I don't know. I don't exactly know how long, but I think it's going to be a little bit of time before they catch up. Like, at least another year, I think, before until there's any type of like catch up. I don't know. Dude, this thing, what is going on? I don't really know what's going on with this thing, but it's being a super pain right now. I don't know if there's a way to fix it, but I thought I fixed it, and now it still seems like it's being a total pain. They have a billion RAV4s. The RAV4s just aren't as popular. At least that's what I would guess. Any car that is just less appealing, there's more of. And then all the ones that people generally want, they're just out of stock. So you have to buy something, or reserve something like farther in advance. And we weren't even settled on this thing. We didn't even get a chance to look at it. And then we put it on reserve. And then like a month later, we could go and look at it, and we're just like, well, what is the alternative? Like, what are we going to end up getting? We're going to overpay on something used. If we want something now, that's just kind of how it is. Overpaying on something, but, you know, I generally like to get something that's new and something that I'm going to keep for a while. But it's a tough market. Okay, so we're going to do, I think, the front doors first. Pro Nano 20. What is that one? That's carbon. Do I got to go find my 35? Pro Classic 20. Oh, that's this one. This one's 35. So we're going to do 35 on the front. The back? What is the back? This is a Toyota. Did they actually do 20 on the back, or is this going to be another one of those annoying, like, 30s? 23. Oh, well, that's a little darker for a Toyota. We're going to do the back windows. I don't know if we're quite going to do them today. We're just going to kind of see how this whole thing, how long this goes. It's mostly down to these quarters. We're going to see how long these take. So let's unlock, and then, cool. Let's leave that. Air pressure. That's nice. That's actually really nice. I usually do like 65, just because it was like quicker to fill up the tank when I'm trying to get everything set up. We did like 90. Are you gonna try any plotter patterns, or are you over it? No, we're actually gonna try it on these quarters. So these ones are like, man, if plotter can cut these out right, I am so game for that. This is my favorite. And we're actually doing Pro Nano instead of Apex. So that kind of tells you something about Apex. I like the clarity. I think this has a little bit more clarity to it. So we're going to do Pro Nano. I like the heat rejection at Apex, but coming into wintertime right now, and with the additional haze, I just not a huge fan. I think they need to do a couple things to it first, but it's a new product. They're working on it. I don't want to make excuses, though. So we got to be careful. We don't want to make any mistakes here. But, I mean, I guess we always be careful. These seals, very, very straightforward. I like Toyota for that. I just wish they didn't do the same thing with the, wish they didn't do the same thing with the quarters. But Toyota, Honda, Subaru, they all like doing that. At least put some, like, they're not even fun to clean. At least put some matrix borders around them. Triad just good about not scratching, but too soft. It's a trade-off. It's sometimes a bit of a trade-off. I mean, I like the easy reaches, but the easy reaches, I always scratch more with those. And, like, you need something that's thin, but it was always hard to find that perfect side tool. And for me, it's the tri-edge. Well, perfect. Perfect, as perfect as it gets right now. So how much room do we have to tuck in? We got plenty of room. They even made a tool. Wow. I wonder if I have like way too much soap. Or did I not squeegee that down? Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to be a nightmare today. We need to be extra careful, he said as he ruined his front doors. This is just annoying. I don't even want to save that for quarters. I'm just annoyed. How's my headset? Is it working? We may have too much soap. I put a lot at the beginning. Generally, I keep a lot for ceramic and Pro Classic, but sometimes we've had Pro Nano slide a lot on the glass in the past, to where getting it to tack up while you're cutting can be a huge pain. So if I have to redo that, yikes. I hope not. There we go. Thought you liked Toyota Seals? No, I do. I like them a lot. This is my mistake, not... This is my mistake, not Toyota's. You're a rich tinter. I'm gonna be plotter cutting the front doors, and I don't want to try and save those pieces for anything other. Like they're not gonna work for anything else. They're just gonna sit on a shelf, and I'm eventually gonna throw them out anyway. So there's nothing, nothing to do with that. This is just gonna go to waste anyways, and I don't want it hanging around. We're gonna put it just a little bit more pressure when we squeegee these down. By a little bit. Sandwich it down. There we go. I think we're better. There we go. That's what we want to see. Did we forget how to tint? Probably. The inside seal is a little interesting too. It seems tighter. I don't know how tight it is, but the paneling comes pretty close. So we're gonna kind of generally line this up. Give it a good tack. Yeah, that's better. Is it 50? Oh, they're not tight. The paneling's a little close, but the seal is just kind of farther down. That's not, I wouldn't call that tight. So you can squeak it a little bit more. So this is 35. Is it more nerve-wracking to do your own car? There's parts about it that are, because it's like I always got to look at it, and I don't want to look at a bad job or a couple of specs, really. You know, like I'm okay with the norm. We're not going to be as crazy as we were on that Blazer stream, so we like redid and redid and redid. But the point of that was like was really to kind of show, you know, even on a new vehicle, how many times it can take to get a job that's like damn near flawless sometimes. But when you gotta live with it, it's when you gotta live with it, you're definitely gonna be a little particular. I wouldn't say it's going to be any more particular than anybody else's that I tint here, though. I'm picky on everybody's stuff. There we go. That's going good. But there's definitely that excessiveness. It's like, I'm still going to clown around with the Blazer. So if you guys see me stripping and retinting windows, it's pretty much going to be on that. This is something that's like, all right, what would I put on that I want to keep on there for as long as I have the vehicle? Because I don't want to have to redo it. And that's going to be this. And that's what most people are deciding when they come into your shop. Some of the stuff that I do on like the Blazer is like, yeah, we'll change it in a couple weeks because we're having fun. I got other films to test and videos to make and whatnot. This isn't that. Come on, yes. Just, do you ever get that little bit? And it's just hard to like shave off just a teeny tiny bit. That happens to me sometimes. That's why it's easier to do this with a 30. Nice. Why aren't you doing Chameleon and turning it into a Minivan? That's the real question. I have a graphics job, and this would be a good window to do the graphics job on. But I don't think that would fly. Pro Nano or Apex? We're doing Pro Nano. I gotta get my 50% swapped out anyways. Ding, 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 ding. Wow, I hope there's nothing against ringtones. Ugh. Why isn't it on my watch? It should be on my watch. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Hi, how can I help you? Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm right in the middle of a live stream, so I can't talk about this right now. I'll call you back. Okay. Have a good one. It was somebody calling out of state about the photochromic tint. Ask on stream. But I'll probably get a phone call later. Is this stream about the Second Amendment? No. Where do you get tape from that you put over the seals? So this one was off of Amazon. This is called Tuck Tape. The house wrap tape is the category. We've done Lowe's and Tuck Tape. That sounds like Christmas music. That's why I did it. We already have our tree up. It's not even Halloween yet. We have our tree up. It's because we're in the burr months. So once you hit September, especially in the Philippines, everything becomes Christmas. But yeah, I was going through the ringtones, and that one is like peaceful. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so things are coming along pretty good. Just this little thing. All right, there we go. Am I kicking rolls over? Let's not do that. You belong back in your box now. I thought somebody was calling you about your extended warranty. No, but they are gonna call me about my plate. I got a paper plate right now. Do you know this thing didn't even come with floor mats? That was like an afterthought at the end. I'm like looking and I'm like, yo, there's no floor mats. And he's like, huh, let me check the sticker. Nope, there's no floor mats that were ordered with it. I'm like, so can you, what? You put floor mats on it? And he's just like, they just didn't, you didn't pay for them. Yeah, but isn't that like a normal thing? Like to get them with a vehicle? He's like, right now we're having so many problems with like little things like that. So sometimes they just can't get them. So they'll order them without floor mats just so they can get the vehicle here quicker. Rather than try and sit on something like that. And I'm like, oh. He's like, yes, sorry. Buy aftermarket, they're better. Yeah, we did. We ordered some, but still, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, come on, how do you not have floor mats? But that, again, it kind of shows you what we're dealing with. I should razor this. I bet there was a sticker on this thing. WeatherTech. WeatherTechs are really good. We found a different one. They're not going to be, it's a little bit different. So we wanted something that was kind of like squishy. Because we cross our fingers and like hope we're going to keep this thing nicer. So it's something that you could like kick your shoes off into. But it still kind of covers all that. So I found a couple of interesting ones that still have a similar like scoop or block area like the WeatherTechs do, but WeatherTechs are really good. Man, they took over the market like crazy. I remember when that market was like 500 competing brands, and then just kind of watch the years go by, and then everything just moved to WeatherTech, and now WeatherTech is just everything. Everything's WeatherTech. All those like rain guards, floor mats, even that stupid phone holder accessory. It's like everything's WeatherTech. So yeah, like, I don't know, the whole car market is a little wonky. Everything's a little wonky right now. Just supply chains, man. It's weird. It's like we went from a period where, like, we went back in time to where a lot of this stuff, like, it exists. It's just weird how hard this stuff is to come by now. So there's things that you can get really quickly, and then there's other things that is like, it's hard to get your hands on. We walked into Costco the other day, and again, all the paper products are gone. Like, uh-oh, is it this again? Dang. That's not great. Panic buying for the holidays. All right, let's see how this is gonna work. When I tint, I have tiny bubbles from what I'm assuming is contamination. Any tips on avoiding those? Practice. It's all practice. So I'm assuming you're getting them because you're newer. It's one of those things where you can it's one of those things where you'll practice, and eventually it'll kind of get better. Focus on your installation. Your cleaning's probably fine, so if you kind of like follow the steps here, tape the sides, clean the top edge, squeegee everything. It's just how smooth you get this on the glass. So if you're fighting with the tint a lot, then you're gonna have problems. But if you can manage to get everything on there pretty easily, you're gonna notice there's far less dirt. And a lot of times the dirt kind of comes in the spots that you had the struggles with. So if you have like patchiness up in here, it's probably because you hit something or fought with it, trying to get it into the seal. So keep practicing. It's like we had a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Go to like fast food place. It's just sitting there for like half an hour, and you're like, wait, what? Order something, and it's just, it'll get here in a couple of years. They want an extra $2,000 for the Sienna and green because there's just not many green ones. Yep, just the whole thing. I mean, you couldn't find one at any dealership. You want a minivan? Sorry, just nobody's got them. Period. You're waiting. You're waiting like a couple of months. And like we were lucky to be in a position where we can just hang around for one to show up. But like as far as negotiating or anything, it's like they'll just call the next person on the list. They had a list of like 25 people that wanted to pick up this van. So you're either like, well, yeah, I guess I'm good with this one. Because all roads kind of led back to it, so we weren't sure what else to get, if anything. And used market, expensive. New market, expensive. It's all expensive right now. So we like this one. We're going to pay a lot. We settled on this one. So we would have looked closer at the Odyssey and stuff like that. We would have ordered, or we would have got something like that, but like I said, there's no all-wheel drive. So that's a big thing here. No family vehicle and non-all-wheel drive. Screw that. And I'm really surprised. They just didn't have, like most minivans, they don't have scoot that over just a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, there's just minivans with all-wheel drive. Like, if you look international, there's a lot more van options. There's a lot more small van options. Here, everything's mid-size, full-size SUV. So, and I totally get it. I totally get why. We put a little bit much soap, so it's slip sliding. Making sure I get that edge close as I can. Oh, this shut off. Let's roll this up. One more. Okay, that's fine. What was that? The only thing that Odyssey has that Sienna doesn't is the camera in the back where you can see the screen. Oh, I know. We were a little sad. We have this driver easy speak, so you can talk to the back like an airplane. And then it's got these like interesting like glowy lights here. You can't change the colors or anything, but like they kind of do this whole thing up in a really clean way, and we like that a lot. But there's definitely some features that it's like it doesn't have this, doesn't have that. The backup camera looks like it was from 20 years ago. It's not great. But it at least has one. No front camera, no side cameras. I can't believe they haven't cleaned up their camera resolution at all. Like, I did this, we did a Tacoma the other day. Same thing, 2022 Tacoma. And the backup camera was as terrible as this one. So, and that's how I've always felt about Honda and Toyota. It's like there's things that they do really well, but there's just some like feel and tech choices on some of their vehicles that are just like, why? Can you just like update that? But they get major points for reliability, so you at least get to drive drive the unhappiness for a long time. Nice. I think this thing is clean. Wondering if you can drop a Hellcat into it. I don't even want to look into that. Not with all the friggin' hybrid systems that's here. I was playing around with like, so cruise control, that's an old thing, but this has the radar cruise control, and that's kind of freaky. So it'll actually like follow a vehicle and stop behind them, and it's supposed to get going after that, but it says I have to press a button, and I'm not quite sure what that button is yet. To resume radar cruise control, press, and then I'm like, go. Everybody else is wondering why I'm not going. Dang. Well, this is nice. This looks really clean. Hyundai Palisade. Oh yeah, the Palisade and the Kia Telluride. Those are ones that made big leaps forward. I can't tell you exactly why. We looked at some videos. That was on our list of things to like check out. And ultimately we just decided for a van instead of one of those. And I don't remember exactly what it was about that. They were just kind of like, yeah, let's get the van instead. But there was a reason. But yeah, those are solid choices too. All right, so we can remove the tape. We're going to leave that because we're going to do the quarters. Let's go over to the other side. Be careful of the Toyota that cruise once you fall under, what is it, 19 miles an hour? It only gives you a freaking beep. This is actually, like, I don't know. I got to play with it around there. It seemed on this one, it was still working. So it didn't just stop under 19. Like, it would, the person in front of it, it'd slow all the way down. And then if they were just kind of at a slow roll, it would still follow them. Even under 20. I think it was under 20. What exactly does radar cruise control do? It turns you into a lazy driver. Why didn't you use Apex? The only reason was the haze in the sunlight. It's a little bit stronger, and I don't want to just like, oh, it's hazy. I want to check out some other ones in a similar category. Because that is the first like super ceramic that I've seen. So with the dyed, the carbon, and ceramic, they've all been really good. But when you get up into a lot of IR block, maybe that's just the way that they are. And when I say like a little haze, it was far better than, let's say, the Walmart film and whatnot. But it's still there. So it's like, it's a little strong. And when you're coming into dreary winter months, man, you just want a little brightness in your day. Sell the van for a 21 Hurricane. Think about how sick you You know what? Probably be a similar price right now, too. But it was funny. I was like looking at the payments and everything, and I'm like, is there any wiggle room here? And he's like, he pulls out the list. He's not even trying to be rude. He's like, man, I got a list this long of people that are waiting to buy one. There's just no negotiating right now. It's you either like it or you don't. Okay, fair enough. I'd like to broadcast like you. Could you give me some advice on the cameras that you use? Sure, absolutely. I love talking about it. It's just, it's really complicated. So there's a couple of videos on the channel. So look up my GoPro videos. There's one about the wireless streaming, and I go through how it's done. But there's two ways. One, you use a wireless HDMI transmitter, and that's basically like literally a wireless HDMI cable. So GoPro plugs into it, HDMI out of the GoPro, so that means you have to get a media mod. You need to power it a little bit differently because that thing sucks so much battery. Plug it into the wireless HDMI transmitter, and then that goes to your computer, and then out from the transmitter into the computer with a capture card. That's like basically treating the GoPro as a normal camera at that point. The other way is you have to tell the GoPro to stream, and they can do it natively off the GoPro to YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, so you don't need all this craziness. You literally can go buy one and start streaming today. I would recommend most people end up just doing that. But if you want to kind of add all the extra things, which is arguably unnecessary because this is 90% of what we do anyways. Then what you're going to want to do is there's an app that you can buy for like 80 bucks, or if you're real tech savvy, you can figure out how to do it for free. It's just really complicated. You tell the GoPro to stream wirelessly to your computer. That's basically like telling it to stream to a server and then telling OBS, which is your streaming platform, to pick it up. It's annoyingly complicated. Like, I was talking to somebody on Facebook about this for a little bit, and he was like, I just want to I want to use a GoPro, but I also want just a wide shot of the vehicle to bounce back and forth between. Kind of seems like a lot for a little live stream. And it is. It is. It's a whole lot. But that's all there really is. So I use just a DSLR camera over there, and I have a GoPro over here. I have some other cameras that I'd play around with occasionally, but 99% of the stream is this. So if you're streaming already, cool. If you haven't started, just get a GoPro and start streaming with a GoPro. See how that goes. Learning that much is enough, and then you can move in there. Have any customers picked up an Apex job from you? No, I haven't really offered it either. We did like once or twice. Most people right now are like Pro Classic or Carbon. I've done one ceramic job, but I want to see a little bit more refinement in the product. But like this is being really nitpicky too. I think a lot of shops that offer it to their customers will do totally fine. It looks great most of the time. There's just those times the sun hits it at that right angle, and then it's just like you're driving with, compared to the Pro Nano, you're driving with a noticeable amount more haze. So it's like most people that like, you know, if you just like, hi, welcome, yeah, we have these films, it's a great choice. Most people like they'll be more than happy with it. See, this side is sticking okay. I don't know why. Oh, wait, no, this side's still slipping. Okay, cool. Well, at least we have some consistency. So I think I don't know. They're going to work on it. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Plus, we're going through winter. So far, they've had a lot of positive feedback about it, though. And I can see why. There's just, if you want to get the nitpicky, super critical opinion about it, ask me. Should you strap the GoPro to your head or to your chest? Good question. I think a chest mount is more stable, but it misses a lot. And it depends on the height of the vehicle. So I'm kind of at this height where most things are okay. If I was above 6 foot, if it wasn't an SUV, everything kind of looks a lot farther down most of the time. So I'm pretty average height here. So I think 5'9". So on a vehicle like this, it's totally fine. And then on cars, you know, when you're on a stool, it's okay. But sometimes there's just some things that are a bit lower. So when it's all the way up here, it's a bit much. But most of the time, you like bring film on the inside of the car, like on a back window or something like that. And then your GoPro is basically just like, it's just here looking at the vehicle rather than like what I'm looking at. So this is a little bit more bouncy, but you see more. And if I think about it, sometimes I'll stop moving my head so much. Like when somebody asks me a question and I half miss it and then I gotta whip pan my head right towards the computer. I do that a lot. I tried to think about it sometimes, but I end up doing that a lot. But, I mean, it's worth it to get both. They don't, I mean, if you buy a GoPro chest mount, they charge a little bit much for it, but the GoPro head mount's 100% worth it. I think they're like 25, 20, 25. This thing is, it's nice. The grippies, the way that it sits, it's a really nice head mount when you're wearing it for a handful of hours, multiple days a week. I've gotten a lot of use out of this thing, and it's still holding up. If it had like a more uncomfortable grip to it, I would be very unhappy right now. But you could probably find something else for a chest mount. I don't know. This the new car? Who really cares? Yes, yes, it is. I like your username. This is the new family wagon. How far booked out are you? Really not far. I'm a little sad. We're doing my minivan today, so I have some stuff for Saturday and I think early next week, but not farther than that. We have stuff trickling in, and it comes and goes. This is that time of year, especially as a newer business. You'll see it will dip down, and then you'll randomly have spurts where it'll all of a sudden pick back up. So weather isn't everything, but it definitely does kind of like impact it initially, and then people get used to it, and then it'll like pick back up again, and then you'll have like, I don't know, yesterday I had like a wave of phone calls. So when everybody wants it, everybody wants it. And then all of a sudden nobody will want it. So a lot of that. Dang. We've had a fair amount of practice. I'd say this turned out pretty dang good. We don't have to redo this. Sweet. Yeah, looks good. Just a couple little spots I gotta press, like just the little fold. Opinions on Cool Max. How long does it last? I have no idea. I haven't tried any of them long term. My group would be able to tell you a little bit more. People have been generally really positive about it. Usually it's from the perspective of, like, some people have actually gone out of their way to try some better films. And I really appreciate, if you're going to use that, at least try some different stuff before you settle on it. And it kind of depends, too, on where you want to price your business. My motto is spend a little bit more on a quality film and brand that you can rely on a lot more. And don't try and short yourselves too much. But when you go a little bit cheaper, you'll definitely stay a little bit busier, I think. At least in the beginning. But I haven't tried any of them long term. We have to, I gotta go find the icon. So I gotta open up the software. So what do you have? Canon. I need to try. Hey, no drop frames, that's cool. All right, desktop. So, Tint 22. I doubt it's gonna pop up here, but we'll see. Whoa. Whoa, it did pop up. A 22, they have a 22. The 22 and the 21, I'm pretty sure, identical. Look at how slim this back window is. That's so tiny. This is a 60-inch wide roll. Let's put this down to like a 36 and see where we're at. No windshields, rear quarter window with shade. Okay, so I don't have the shades on mine, but those are just like the inbuilt like lift shades. They don't like swing out the windows or anything. And then we got the front quarters. What do they say about them? Front door fixed, right and left fixed. So we want to do, actually we want to do a 24-inch roll. Oh wait, how do I? Oh yeah, like this. could squeak them in kind of like that. You could tweak it a little bit more. But that kind of pushes it out. Yeah, that'll be fine. Something like that. And we can go down. So the roll downs we cut for the quarter windows, we're absolutely going to see if the plotter fits or not. Let me pop up this GoPro. There we go. Let's grab some film and let's throw it in. So we totally forgot what our setting was. 66? I think if the patterns are done right, on quarter windows like this, you're totally fine. Like, you're probably better off plotting these. And you've seen the sheer amount of frustration that we've had not plotting stuff like this. It's a lot of trial and error until you get it just right. And then it's mostly about installation and, like, repetitive. Oh, okay, that's where it is. Repetitive, like, you know, try again. So you're like 2-3 patterns in before you sometimes get a really nice installation. And then what do we want to do? So we can move this. But as far as like edges that are exposed, so all this stuff is getting tucked in, and that's the difference. Okay, so 66, I think that's where we were. 66 on the other one. So let's go ahead and, wow. Why does it do that? That's not great. Okay. That's super annoying. Hopefully we're not going to cut through the strip. So the ceramic is definitely thicker. So we up the pressure a little bit. Use a sticker on top of the plotter so you don't have to get. You are so right. What were the settings again? All right, let's see how these work. Why don't you just write it down? Because I like to go, I don't remember. Good times. I can just scroll through a 2-hour live stream and figure out what it was. That's not good. I should have written it down. I have a pen and I have some tape. I can absolutely do that. Oh, but look! We did it! Okay, so this is gonna be the drivers, actually. What's weird about the software, too, is it shows the patterns opposite, which is it's like Lumar's rolling their film backwards. It just takes a minute to get used to. At least it tells you drivers and passengers, but the way you see it versus the way that it gets etched into the film is opposite. But at least they show you. They're like, this is the drivers, or the front right, and this is the left. So that's at least the redeeming quality. So these say that they're fixed, which is also kind of crazy. But these are the same for the 2021 and the 22. So that's probably why they're already fixed, because this is like a pretty new vehicle otherwise. So this bottom gasket, really loose. So what I'm hoping is everything else just kind of gives me some space. So we'll kind of slide it down into the bottom and then shift it back up. And then everything will be all hunky-dory. And we'll see how these cuts line up. And I speed clean these with water. Let's see how this will work. Oh, really? There we go. Catched. And then, how did I cut myself? Explain that. I picked up a scrap and somehow cut myself already. Looking good. Wow, that wasn't bad at all. Let's make sure we don't have a gap here. Look, I can even sneak a shank in here. That's crazy. Woo! I'd say these are fixed. Dang. A little farther back down. These are good. These are real good. I hope I didn't spray the camera too much. Yay! See, that makes my life easy. If I had to hand cut these, at least you noticed the cut. Only because it was red. Like, when did that happen? Super annoying. Did I get dirt on it? What was that? Oh no! There's a couple of speckles up here. That was probably how I peeled it. Yikes, that's no good. Well, everything lines up. Can't believe you're using a plotter. I know. What a hack. No, on stuff like this, it makes total sense because everything is about, like, if the pattern is good, I can sit here and try and round these corners just right, and I can sit here and try and angle everything and sneak it in. And it's just tough. It really takes some time to make sure all these, like, exact perfect edges against a rubber that, you know, you can cut as you're cutting along it if you're not careful. That kind of stuff is super annoying. So most of what the issue is with a plotter is, can I just click cut and then have it? Why isn't it doing a thing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, because it's on this. Oh, it's gonna do it twice. Shit. All right, well. Why did it do that? Oh, you bitch. Oh, I didn't set the origin point. Well. Hang on. That was my bad. I did hit the wrong button, but these things get confusing. It went to the old origin point. So what is an origin point? An origin point is where you told the plotter to start at. Because this dumb thing is just sometimes super fun. At least it's going to forget it, though, I think. So you do this guy, you move it over to where you need it because it doesn't figure that out by itself. Then you click enter, and then you do this. And then we should be good. There we go. So we're cutting out the exact same thing, so I'll have a spare for the other side. But patterns are good. At least on one side they are. So, and then I did this, and I spit that out, and hopefully it didn't just destroy my blade and my cut strip. That would be extra bad. But yeah, cutting these things out on a plotter, it all comes down to there we go. Ooh, what is that one? Thank you. Aw, Jose.
Jose78 Rios super chatted $9.99. What up, how you doing today? Memphis, Tennessee, watching you. Nice to see someone know how to teach and get done right. All have nice day. Let's tint some windows. Victory hand.
Jose, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it. Things are going pretty well. We just screwed up a 1/4 window, but I can explain why that happened. All right, but this always brings up a good debate too on like hand cut versus plotter cut. So, look, I'm gonna do a little trick here. There, grab the corner of it with the liner rather than your hand. I grabbed it with my mouth though, so I peeled it funny, and I know I did. I was like, oh, that was kind of a little weird. So I had some extra dirt in the top corner. So we're gonna try and fix this up right nice, but anyways. So my big debate with plotter versus hand cutting is the cuts generally don't turn out as well when we're talking about top edges. All the exposed edges is where it can really leave you hanging. So when you have a back glass and you're tucking into a ceramic border, oh my God, why is my headset being all funky? Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with it today. I've had a mess of problems. Looks like it's not fixed though. But anyways, so when is it the signal? Oh, Jesus Christ. We're having big signal issues, as far as I can tell. I thought I fixed it. It's not the cable. But so anyways, when you're checking stuff into a matrix border, it's like you're not really seeing anything. It's all being hidden. But when you have a top edge on your window, you roll it down, you see that all the time. So some shops will kind of get away with a real sloppy top edge for a little while, and they'll just, they'll tint a car, and then you roll the windows up, tell a customer not to roll the windows down for a week, and then, oh, look, everything's fine. Until you roll that window down and check it out. There, this is much better. I like this a lot more. Yay, that went good. So when we're talking about these, I'm really surprised with how nicely they line up with something like this gasket, even though I tuck it a little bit into it. I'm really surprised with how nicely it lines up, and everything kind of gets tucked a little bit. It's still got to be pretty exact, but you have a little bit more of a tolerance there. And these are much harder to cut out. They're much harder to cut out than just with doing them with the plotter anyways. So if they fit, cool. So same thing with doors. If I could rely on the doors, I'd just be using a plotter all the time. But I can't. Wait, shut up. What the fuck is that? No! When did that happen? You see that? Is that from my little plotter mishap? Look at that. That is just a little notch. Well, let's do this again. Yay. No. We're having all sorts of fun today. So, Canon, did I pay my internet bill? I don't know what's going on with this whole wireless connector dealy, but it is not. I almost think I'm going to have to buy another one and swap them out because I think it's this. It's your car, no need for perfection. I don't get how people look at it that way. Like, it's your car, you don't have to worry about it. You're not going to have anybody complaining. Dude, I got to look at it. I'm going to complain. And, you know, that was something that, that was something that I'd see at, for, like, people tinting for friends. Like, if you're at somebody else's business and, like, they have an employee and they want you to, like, tint their vehicle, I mean, I would be extra particular on that one. Front door left fixed, front door right, so that's this one. Are your tint jobs perfect? Nope. Nope, they're not perfect. But I shoot for as perfect as I can. So we're going to cut out 2 of these. This is why I said probably front doors and the windshield, because I had a feeling that something would go horribly wrong. I think that second mistake was probably my fault, if I had to guess. Remember, it kicked out some film. The blade went down. Actually, I don't know. Did it click? I'd have to look at the footage back. But that was a really weird thing to have, like a blade poke hole in the film in such a weird spot. So I'm guessing it was something plotter related that I just messed up with. I don't know, but we're gonna recut this, see if we can do this right. As my cut strip slowly disintegrates. We'll get this right one day. I wonder if my cuts don't let Matt fool you. Yes, his tint jobs are perfect. They're not. I have my own issues. Yeah, there's always going to be something that you can point at. Now, the level of what you can point at, that's where I get really picky. It's like if I'm going to find a spec, it's like, it is what it is. But if I'm going to find like a small grouping of specs, no, that's where it becomes unacceptable. All right, let's try that little trick today. You have a lot of time to kill? Today I do. But I plan these things a little bit in advance, so I have that time to kill. All right, so what did we learn? A couple things. Let's keep this corner rolled down a little bit. Let's get this pressed in. Let's see if we can get this better. It was like perfect the last time, so this pains me that it wasn't a dirt problem. It was it's an actual like film problem. Probably caused by me though. Whereas normally it's like a little bit of an installation problem. You like screw up trying to get it where it needs to go. It's hard to tuck in. Ooh, I should have been using the easy reach for this one. That's way better. I just couldn't find it. So we gotta go a little bit farther up. Top corner is curling in on me a little bit. Ah, there we go. Dun, dun, dun. Ha! I think that's better. Now we gotta do it on the other side. I think I'm gonna order another wireless HDMI transmitter. Do the little box swap. I don't know what's going on. It is way too... It works, and then all of a sudden it stops. And I don't think that's capture card. I don't think that's cable. I think that's signal interference or something. I don't know. We've used this thing a lot. Maybe it's just not up to the beating that it gets. Is that a thing, or is that a thing that I'm crazy? We do have one more that we could try. Thinking. 35 and 50? Yes. Yes, we do 35 and 50. Wow, what the fuck happened there? I got like one little thing that I'm not happy about. It's a little bit on the slightly bigger side. But that's the only thing that I see. I'm wondering if I can get this to lay down a little bit better, or if it's actually like a little piece of schmutz there. There's always a speck somewhere. I know there is, and that you could consider to be the speck that's somewhere, but there's size to those specks that just can drive me crazy. Let me bump up the Oh, you know what? Huh. There we go. Our pressure reset when we reset the plotter. No wonder it didn't cut through. That's why. God. This machine. So there's like 50 little things that you always have to do right with this machine. And it's really easy to just get them mixed up. So you can blame a lot of what you see on user error. Because, oh, I forgot to set the origin point. And then things start to snowball. So I shut off the plotter because there's no stop button. But then when I shut off the plotter, all the settings reset entirely. And I didn't realize that all the settings reset entirely. So then I had to reset the pressure. So that's why it didn't cut through on the last patterns. So that's just so much fun with this thing. So should you get a graph tack or should you get one of these? You'll save yourself from some frustrations with a graph tack, but you'll save your wallet with one of these. So I'll let you figure that one out. All right, this will be the last one. I know it. This will be it. This will be it for sure. We got backup though, in case it's not. I'm watching Sun Distributing. Oh, they're streaming? That's cool. Look at them. They're coming up with more things. I was having a talk with him yesterday. We were trying to figure out a Facebook feature that turns out is just broken. Facebook stole the Clubhouse feature. And then also another platform stole it too, so we were just talking about trying to do something like that. But it wasn't working yesterday. So some of you might have seen in my group, I tried to do like an audio live thingy. It was totally broken. No good. Ooh. If we can get these to lay down, we'll be good. Watch Matt do quarter windows for 5 hours. That looks darker than the other window? How is that possible? Is it? I think you're right. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. What happened? That doesn't make sense to me. Did we put the wrong roll in the wrong spot? Did I grab the wrong roll? Okay, I'm just gonna give up now. I think I'm done. It does look darker. Yeah, you're right. I just noticed. So, what did we do? What did we do wrong? Again. No, we is dumb. Yeah, it does look darker. What did we do? You didn't peel it off? Oh, shut up. I did peel it off. What? I'm genuinely confused right now. I don't know. Why does it look darker? That doesn't make sense. So what's my roll down? Didn't take off the other layer. I did. You guys are like, that's the dumbest thing. It's clear anyways. What? Oh, you mean... Oh my god. Oh, I see what you guys are saying. We double tinted it? Did we really? Oh, that's why. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I'm retiring. That's it. We're done. I see the problem. No, it sounded like you guys were saying I didn't take off the liner. There it is. You put one layer 35 over the existing layer 35. Yeah, I know some of you, that's what you're saying. Then that's not what's registering in my brain. I'm like, what? It actually looked good. We should have left it. Yo, dude, I just want to tint a minivan and, like, go on about my day. I just feel so spent right now off of a plotter and dumb quarter window. These things ruined my life. All right, what is this, like the 5th attempt? We haven't had to hand cut a single one of these. No wonder it stuck funny. We would have had that same spec in the same spot. So hopefully this will just glide a little bit nicer this time. Double 35 looks good. It does. It really does. I liked it. And I think there's a strong argument for doing these quarter windows darker than the roll downs. I think that would be totally fine too. There's no reason you have to make these look entirely even. Like, so if you did limo or 20 on the front and then little bit lighter on the main roll downs, I think you'd be totally cool with that too. I don't want more practice on quarters. But between this and stream issues right now, I'm just not having a good day. Which is just like totally opposite of the way this day was set up. It's like, yeah, this should be great. We'll knock out these, we'll have some struggles on the quarters, everything will be fine. We'll get there, but holy crap, man. I just feel spent now. Then watch. Hopefully at this point, everything will be like, yeah, no problem. How much wiggle do we got? Did you get drunk last night? Nope, just having one of those days. Wow, this customer's not paying anything. Just his time. His time and his material. No, don't get stuck. Just go down. Thank you. I missed that one pattern. That, like, one of the first one, or like the second one with the little thing right there. I think that was the best. This one I think is a little bit cleaner. Maybe we got it in just the right spot. I think there's, like, I'm noticing maybe a very slight gap on the front. I'm not really gonna fault them for that. I just think it could have been extended a little bit longer, so I'm having tricky spot in getting this right on the edge so there's no gap here, because that would be like the biggest no-no, and then trying to getting it as far over as I can. But when you're right on this edge and you go over and you go back, then it rolls it, and that's no fun. But I think we actually made it. Let's just go beat our head against the walls with the other side. Why was that darker? Good God. I don't think I've ever made that mistake. Genuinely, I don't think I've ever made that mistake. I don't think I've ever tinted one window over another. Holy shit. What software? Plotter software. I'm trying. Okay. Oh, gotta click on a thing. It's called PRECUT. It worked out really well for the quarters on this one. It's done really well on some other quarters too. Plotter software. There it is. So I managed to work a 30-day free trial. So if you use the Tint Studio code, you can, if you have a plotter, just go and try it out. That way you don't have to like abandon what you're using. Because this software is very bare bones. They're making improvements, but biggest thing is like, do the patterns work without modification? But you still want that flexibility to where if a pattern's close, you can oversize it and, you know, do some basic other things. Oh my God. All right, there we go. Canon. We're having like so many issues today too. It's not just like machine. It's this whole headset right now. It is just not working today. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly, but it seems like it's something to do with like the wireless, but I can't be 100% sure. Because it's like, it's stuttering, it's going black, it's skipping. It's got multiple channels, so I can switch it between it. It's supposed to pick out like the best channel. And it's been rock solid, but I don't know if it's just with extended use, it starts to wear out. Wireless HDMI is really difficult. So hopefully we can maybe reset this again, tighten these antennas down. Have you tried using a chest harness instead of a headset? No, I've seen it though. Okay, are you gonna start back up? There it goes. Hey! Start one, start the other.
Jorge Sandoval super chatted $10 for coffee.
Thank you. Jorge with a 10. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. This should have gone off too. Okay, I guess that's... Oh. Hey! And that goes for the other super chats too if it hasn't been working. Much appreciated. Thank you guys. Cheers. Followed up by Facebook spammer. Give me a second. So, you guys don't know what this is, which most of you probably do know what this is. Why doesn't it? I am. How do it? I'm in my group, yo. Facebook, why you do this? Limit activity. Remove comment. Remove. And then it's not giving me... Oh my God. There's too many things to even bother keeping track of. Distracted by a horrific spammer in my group who was just like literally spammed this this live stream. So I was just trying to take care of that in like 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden Facebook decided to get rid of the option to do that. I don't know. Whatever. And then turn off sales format, which... So Facebook also does this really weird thing, where if I put a car in the title in my own group, it auto puts a sales format, like I'm trying to sell something. Jesus. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. And then let's try and get this back. Okay, so this is a wireless HDMI transmitter. So this is a GoPro in a media mod. And I plug this cable into here. And so what's supposed to happen is that wireless HDMI out to this transmits to here, that goes to the computer, and then I can do this. So then I clear those away, and look, I have a floaty camera. But see, that's all well and good, I think. But what's been happening is, for some unknown reason, it keeps skipping and doing stupid stuff. It's been rock solid for quite a long time, and today it just decided to not be that anymore. So I've changed the channels a bunch of times. I've tried a number of other things. Best I can say is there's something going on with that or the capture device, and I don't have any good way to fix it right now without swapping out the whole unit or the capture card. And both of those are kind of expensive to just swap out. So I don't know which one to try first. But in the meantime, we can do the other quarter window. It just isn't your day. Yeah, and then I was trying to take care of like a Facebook spammer issue, and it's as easy as going to the comment, clicking on the 3 little dots, and you can delete it and literally ban and delete all the things. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't happening. It's just like, would you like to delete the comment? Yes. Okay, it's deleted. All right, how about the 500 other ones that he left? Nope. Okay, all right. Usually I have more luck with this kind of stuff, but not today. Today's just all the luck ran out. Hopefully we don't destroy the vehicle. I've been waiting for you to go live. I need more help with the charger back glass. What's wrong with the charger? It's a hard one to shrink. And then turn on the defrosters before you go to tint it. Because you will probably have little peanut problems. How do we grab it after it's already been this far? I feel like this is going to go horribly wrong too. Probably going to go horribly wrong. That's okay. We have more. We've done this 50 times already. Let's do it another 50. You still claying the inside? Not on this. Quarters I usually just do a heavy flush. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more, but on a brand new one, it's just you flush the seals, you wipe everything off. You can razor it if you want and then see how it goes. That was a little messy, but... see if we can get it in place, kind of. All these little bits. See how it's pressing in that corner right there? What'll happen, it's like it'll bunch up until you free it up, and then it'll pick a spot and then decide to fuse that little glue spot to the glass. And then you just screw up your whole pattern, cross your fingers that when you try and do one of these guys, you don't crease it. And that definitely creased the top corner there. Yeah, see that? That little guy. It's because this rubber presses slightly different than the other rubber. So it pinched. That means this whole pattern is dead. It's dead to me. The other one went in a little bit easier. That one not so much. Alright, was there any problems with this one? No, this one was good. Cool. Number 2. Defrosters. Yeah, so on the Charger defrosters, you need to start them up a minute, 30 seconds to a minute before you go to install them. You'll have a much better time. Because what happens is they're really thick. Specifically on the Chargers, yes, I do. I clay all my back windows. I was talking about this one. But on the Chargers, yeah, they just have really thick defrosters, so you're going to need to come at them a little bit differently. Flushed face. There's a lot of flushing going on here. Come on. All right. Let's breathe. Let's try and get this tucked in. Oh, there we go. That's better. I just wanted a sacrifice before it got tucked up to where it needed to. Can we move on to the windshield yet? How's that HDMI doing? It's surprisingly okay now. Are we past all the problems? As it goes black. Son of a bitch. Yeah. What do you think? HDMI transmitter or cam link? I'm betting the HDMI transmitter, but it could be the cam link. Any slip solution that you think works best? Yeah, I do a mix of baby shampoo and Dawn. Like a good, so it's like 3/4 baby shampoo and like 1/4 Dawn. Just you need a good squirt of Dawn in there. But that's for using Geo. I don't feel so bad now about quarters. No, you shouldn't. They're really tricky. And there's ways to kind of like free them up, which I'm just kind of reminding myself of right now. So on some of the other ones, what we've done has been wedged the tri-edges in there. And then you kind of free up the seal a little bit. And I would definitely recommend doing that ahead of time. But they're just tricky because, you know, you're got literal seals pointed like this, and you're trying to tuck everything in. And it's so easy for the film to just grab a little corner or a spot and just lock down. And you're trying to get all these little plastic cards in spaces that they're getting knocked and ugh. frustrating. It's very frustrating. But looks like we actually got it down, huh? Yeah, look at that. I got one teeny little fold there that I can press down. That'll work. Much better. All right, we can actually move on from these roll downs and quarters. Yay, 2 front doors. How long did that take? But then we go back to that. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta order like a new transmitter or something. Let me try something really quick. I'm gonna switch this to the other capture thing. Just put it in the back room. It's just a disaster. Okay, so now my inputs are switched. So what we're gonna see here is this is now GoPro and this is Canon. We went dark. So that also screws up the chat and the alerts and stuff. But there we go. Let's do that. And then leave the alerts. That should be fine. So if I don't have any capture device problems now, then I'll know that it was the cam link is bugging out on me and I have no problems with an HDMI streamer. But if I have the same issues that I had before, then it's 100% the wireless transmitter. That at least helps narrow this kind of crap down. Alright, this is Pro Classic 20. We need, what do we need? We need 50? Oh. Mic sounds better. Thanks for reminding me. That makes this whole thing tricky. Fuck. Yeah, because this is the better microphone. Or this is the better microphone. Actually, you just reminded me that I gotta fix the other thing. Because my audio is bonkers. Cam link. Audio capture. No, video capture device. Okay, so we gotta add the Canon SL2. Is that gonna be this one? Okay, there we go. And then we can drag it down to here. Sweet. So this is still actually the GoPro. I just watched. I click this little button instead, and then I flip back and forth. Neat. Okay, so everything should be the same now. Pro Nano 50. Where did I put it? Did I put it in the other? In the back? You guys want to see the back? You guys want to see how terrible it is back here? So this is like behind the curtain. All the extra film that I have kind of sitting around. This is 50. I know I got a 50 around here. And I just got to find it. 35 Supernova. Do I not? Where did I put my... I know I had extra 50, right? I wasn't that low on 50. I ordered. So these are pretty much all empties. It's misleading. Looks like I have a lot of film. It's mostly empties that I just haven't gotten rid of yet. I just have in the middle of cleaning up messes and stuff. Good Lord. So that is Carbon 50, C250, C2, Pro Nano. And then here we've got it was right there. Yep, I'm blind. I thought it said 5. It was 50. Thanks for the feedback. I'm a 4-year experienced tinter out of Odessa, Texas. Follow your channel, get a tons of knowledge. I'm not crazy. I'll find tips soon. Double check, I'm not crazy. Why? Why, are you crazy today too? Just like me? Do you think $360 for Lumar Pinnacle on a 2009? Yeah, that was right. 2019. No, it sounds like a great deal. Pinnacle is one of Lumar's top films, isn't it? Isn't that part of their like Formula One lineup? I would have charged you $320 for carbon, so more for the windshield. Dang, this is a big windshield. So this is a 36-inch roll, and I still got a couple of inches on the top. So, give you guys some context here. 36 covers most windshields. It's not until you get into like the transit vans and stuff. This is still kind of close, but got a little bit there. Got about an inch up at the top right now. Comfortable amount of top and bottom, but not a ton to play with. Wow, my cam link I think is broken. I'm not having any signal issues now. I didn't think that would be the case. Because look at this. This is great. This is as smooth as ever. Yikes. What do we do now? Gotta go get a new cam link or something? I don't want to just buy one. Return it. Did we do the whole box swap? Where you buy one and you throw the old one? Hey, it's broken now. Nope, just kidding. It's all broken. All right, we get rid of the HDMI streamer. Look at how fast that fixed itself. I couldn't even begin to tell you what that was, but my money now is still on the HDMI streamer. We should just go back to recording videos. At least I know you have a lot going on today, but you at some point how you attack the back doors? Oh, on like these sliding doors on this one? I don't have a good answer for you. Because you might have to just take apart part of the door to like really get a thorough job out of it. I mean, otherwise I'm going to be two-staging it. So what I'm going to do is like tack up here, leave all this loose, and then just slide it in here, cut this real short, and then just take something. I'm just going to take something and slam it back there. Wow. And they tinted everything but the windshield. Good Lord, man. Yeah, I don't have any good anything right now. Yeah, so everything but the windshield, I would be 320 on the Camaro. So followed by frame skipping. Good Lord. Yep. We're just gonna shut it down. We're gonna I don't know. I don't even know what we're gonna do. Well, I'm not gonna just shut down the stream, but I gotta go figure something out. Do you ever think you get neck issues from wearing all that headgear? No, I think what I'm gonna have is a brain aneurysm from this stuff not working though. I don't think the problem's the GoPro. I think the GoPro's fine. To me, it looks like a connection issue. Which, wireless HDMI is no easy feat. This is like the only small enough, good enough device that I've come across. It was not cheap, but it works. So maybe it's just, I don't know. We've been using it pretty much a lot. And maybe it's just one of those things that it's had enough like boops and light sprays and stuff that it's just signal's not quite as strong anymore. I don't know. I switched out the antennas too. It's got some big issue. But change the channels. It's like half working. We've changed the capture devices. Those seem like they're okay. I got 15. What do you think I should do on the windshield? 35 is a really nice shade if you want a nice dark look. It's easy enough to see out of with some bright headlights. So you should be totally fine as far as that goes. Sometimes with really bad weather it gets a little sketchy, but it's generally fine for most people. 35 is like my favorite shade to put on a windshield, but you stand out a lot more with it. So the other alternative would be like 50. So 50 on a sporty car looks decently dark. Nice amount of light glare reduction. It's not super strong for glare reduction, but it is better than leaving it clear. But that's basically the difference, is like 35 will give you just a nice, really dark appearance on that front, where 50 is going to be a lighter smoke. You're not going to be able to see into it super easily, even though it's 50, but you will be able to see into it. But windshields point up at the sky, so when you have 50%, it kind of blends in a lot. It looks really good. I like both. So we're doing 50 on this one, but this is a family vehicle. I was told 50 looks like 35 and 35 looks like 15. Yeah, when it's put on a windshield, it's pretty accurate. But that's like outside of the vehicle looking in. So anytime you do the windshield, that's the last point of light. So, 35 on front doors is considered, at least around here, kind of a lighter option. But when you have shorter windows and then you cover the windshield too, that's the last point that a lot of light is getting through. It'll change it up. It'll make it look much darker. But when you're sitting in there driving around with it, it's really, really nice. So it depends on how much attention you kind of want to draw to yourself. And there's my camera going away again. I don't know. Thank you guys for sticking with me this much. Well, I know Apex. I think they've got a couple of small things to get sorted out. It's a little bit hazier than I'd like. And being that we're going into wintertime, the difference between 75 to like 95, it's still there, but it's not as big of a deal. So hopefully next summer it'll be a little bit more clear, I guess. They changed the law in Virginia? What? What did they change it to? I'm curious. Because that same type of rumor came up in Michigan. Here in Virginia, they changed the laws to where they can't pull you over. Oh, just for tint. I see. That's a big difference then. Well, that's nice. So as long as you're not speeding or driving crazy or whatever, but they can make up whatever excuse to pull you over anyways. Oh, I saw you swerve a little bit, and then give you a tint ticket. They'll still get you if they want. But that's nice. I mean, that's kind of the air around here is like, as long as you're driving okay, they generally don't just pull you over for window tint, but that's not in the law. Family vehicle with dark tint looks sketchy. It's 50. 35 in the front and 50. It'll be plenty light. Wow. Shut up. Guys, today just keeps getting better and better. Have any of you guys ever done this? I've done it one other time. Oh, there's like a little bubble here. Watch. This just makes me smile. This is the funniest mistake all day. I've done this with extension cords, and I've done it one time on a curly hose, but I've never done it with these ones until now. Yep, look at that. And then just enough that it's toast. Unless I want, like, I could cut it, and I could have, like, a 10-foot hose. Oh, what a bummer. Well, we're down to one hose. This dream that was never meant to be. At least you got the quarters done. Good grief. All right, let's pull glass aid and let's tint this. I was going to mention that a while back. Well, it's a good thing you didn't, because then we would have said you jinxed it. Not your day. Nope. Nope. No, it's not. And a day like this is like, it's supposed to be kind of relaxing, right? Like, get a new vehicle. You have some fun. We do the front doors. See about doing the back of it. And do a full windshield, like, yeah, this is great. Yikes. Everything goes wrong on the job that doesn't make you money. Too true. I'm telling you, you have tequila in the coffee mug. I really don't. Hey! At least that works.
Sean Gavin super chatted $5. Sometimes watching you is like watching the Chris Gethard show on public access. Embarrassed smiley face.
Who is that? I don't know if I know who that is, but I understand what you're saying. Thank you so much for the 5. Chris, yeah, I don't know who that is, but thank you for the 5, Sean. I appreciate that. All right. Now we need that gross towel to cover everything up. So we need this, we need that, probably a razor blade. So all those things are cool. We're gonna take the big dumb towel. Are we? I think we are. We're gonna put this up there. Nobody knows who he is. It's always a shit show. You should be able to splice it together. Oh. I'm sure they would know about what fittings. I've been meaning to get longer ones anyway, so it's a good way to speed that up. Thanks for the tip, though. You're right. There should be a way to just fix it. I wonder if the clamps will be much cheaper. They gotta be like stainless or brass, so gotta find the right sizes and whatnot. Hopefully that's not too hard, but Sun Distributing, they'll know. They know about all that. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is generally have this here, and then I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull it when it's time to do it, I think. We could take a stick or something and see. Duct tape. Tried it, doesn't work. Legitimately tried it. Oh, we got an applesauce. Maybe that'll help me feel better. Ooh, this might go okay. If I can get this to tuck just past the dots to where it's really not going to get in my way, then I'll leave it. If it gets in my way, though, I'll keep it until it's go time, and then I'll pull the towel out because it gets too obnoxious otherwise. Looks like we're kind of squishing it down, but it'll work. It'll get the job. And then that'll stay out of my way. Okay, yep, we'll leave it. That's good enough for me. Sweet. Well, let's clean this off with our double hoses. Nope, not. Just kidding. Lol. Rip. Got one hose. One hose to do everything. Can we manage? I think we'll be okay. Oh, really? I thought this was like a static clean deal. Oh, at least it removes clean. I don't think I need that. That's a stiff sticker. This isn't like a giant windshield to do this with or anything. You guys ever have those days? Of course you do. That's today. I gotta still go run and get some baby formula. We're gonna clean this half, go to the other side, clean the other half. Nice. What are you gonna do when the cars don't have windows? They'll always have windows, but self-driving, fleet vehicles, stuff like that, I'm not sure. I'll get into something else. I think that's a very long ways out, but I think that inevitably could happen. It's tough to say, but, you know, especially in like denser cities and stuff, ride-sharing platforms are really focused on self-driving and automation and like just automated taxis, and like you don't even have to own your own vehicle anymore. You just sign up to us as a service, and then we'll send a vehicle to you within a matter of a minute or two. And then, you know, that's just how it could be. I think there'll be ownership still, but who knows? They'll have windows, but the whole dynamic then changes from like consumers to like companies sourcing a handful or just factory tinting them or whatever. They just pre-outfit everything the way that they want. And if it's self-driving, then they can do it however they want. But I think we're a fair amount away from that. All right, everything's clean here. We're going to squeeze it off evenly one more time, and then we're gonna slap it in. No problems, right, guys? Oh, I need my side swipe. Do I? Maybe not. I'll get it on the install. Oh. No, maybe I will go get that. This doesn't push out quite as much water as the side swipe does. It's got its own handy things. One of these guys. Much needed. How many filters do you have on your kegs? Just one. I just have the inline, or the like 200 mesh end filter. I never really got the filter craze. There's people that were like arguing about, like, there's the 100, 200, And then there's like filters that were basically filtering out like white blood cells at that point. They were getting so fine. I've always done really well with just like a, clean water, 200 mesh to catch some stuff, and everything else is fine. I don't think they're all cracked up. I don't think they're all they're cracked up to be, but the inline one that Sun Distributing sells, though, I think is a nice addition to it. Yeah, these are cleaner. You can get down a little bit farther, and you can swipe the glass just a little bit better. All right, set up the outside. Let's get this in. At least I can go home with nice door windows. Those are all done. Those look good. So, biggest thing that always gives me a bunch of dirt and headaches is going to be the center. It's because of the way it kind of like funnels. So I always try and make sure I get as much water cleaned out of there. Squeegee the whole thing, and then I'll lightly spray towards the top. I don't want to soak that down too much. How long do you tell your customers it'll typically take? On a 4-door car without a windshield, 3 hours. With the windshield, 4. Used to be 2. But we like streaming, so I've had a habit of scheduling a couple appointments in a day, because one of my big focuses here is to have one vehicle set up with enough time to do streaming, and I never know who that is going to be because I don't want to really inconvenience people too much. So set both of them up that way, and usually one of them will work out to do a stream. Oh, I set that there. I need to take it around because I only have the one. But, if somebody's coming in, they have a vehicle that we've done quite a few times, then we don't necessarily focus on that one, maybe the next one, or, first customer is like, hey, I couldn't get a ride, so I'm going to be waiting. So then I'll not stream it, get it done, usually within 2.5 hours for them. But then if another guy wants to bring a vehicle and like drop off, then there's not near as like the same type of time crunch, because some people understand their cars are going to be streamed and some people have no idea. So it's very much just like it's forward facing as a business, and then some interesting things happen on the back end. And if they've looked into it beforehand, then they kind of know. But somebody that calls and is like, hey, how much is it to get this car done? And just like, never looked into anything else about this place, which is still, I'd say, a fair amount of people. Then I don't want it to be too far outside of like a regular shop. But I've been trying to make it a point to at least tell people that, like, there's a little bit more care and effort put into their vehicle. Like, I only take on this amount of appointments a day. It's going to take about this long. Sometimes I forget until, like, after they've booked to tell them how long it's going to take. But I'm trying to lead with that a little bit more lately. So I have somebody coming in on Saturday asking about a discount. And then I'm like, yeah, it's going to take about 3, like you want your full truck with a full windshield or a full truck with a windshield strip. We're just pretty far off on price there. I'm going to spend this amount of time on your vehicle. And they're like, oh, I had no idea. Okay. I understand. So that was nice. All right. So I don't know if my headset's going to skip out on me, but so the magic of reverse rolling was right there. When you roll up the full pattern, and then the very end, like you get the liner to flip onto the other side of the film. So you kind of like peel it, stick it to the back side, and then you just start unrolling it. And the liner literally is coming off on the back side of the film, which is pretty magical. And then from there, it's kind of, for me anyways, it's off by a couple of inches. So you start to get a little bit of an issue towards the end of the install. But everything else, like, you have your whole piece of film here just ready to be unrolled onto the glass. It's the smoothest way to install a windshield. You're coming from a guy that never knew reverse rolling. I'd always just peel the whole thing, carry it in. And then it was a real struggle for me to learn this technique. And I am super happy I spent time to get better at this. And it took me a while, really did. But try and get this as centered as you can before you start to unroll too much of it. Because if you do, the rest of it will go so much easier. Everything just starts to kind of fall into place. So that also is a little bit dependent on how much space you have at the bottom. So if you have more space on the bottom to shove all that tube of a film roll in, then you'll have an easier time getting all this installed. And then the other part is, for the longest time, I had the liner bunching up right in here. So one thing that I'll do is I'll pull this a little early. Spray it or not spray it, just keep that windshield a little wet. And then I'll tuck this up here. It's a bad spot for my squeegee to be. And get it to slide over, so I'm not so much bumping the film up against the paneling. I try and like tuck it in like a side window. And that's been going a lot better for me too. So hopefully it all looked like it went really nice. But you never really know. You go through all those steps and then you just kind of cross your fingers that everything Sorry, I saw a message from Tint. Anyways, what I was saying is you always like cross your fingers that everything's gonna line up and be clean, but sometimes that's not the case. But we hope it is today. Cause I'll know if it's not a good job. That's a little slim, but it's covering. This is good. Want to make sure all my edges are covered before I start tacking it down, because if there's one thing I can't have on top of a dirt spec, it's also a very slight light gap that I'll never be able to unsee. Oh, that's there. Oh. We almost had one. How about that? That might be why that was so slim. Right in here, really hard to catch. This is very close. And then this side, that side's all good. Oh yeah, we're farther over. So we just didn't move it too far over this way. Cool, I think we're good. All that. And watch, there's still gonna be something. I'm gonna come across something major in about 2 seconds. Then I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Ooh. I think if I order a transmitter, it's not going to get here till midday Saturday, so I don't think I'll be able to do a live stream this weekend, not without all these problems. She might be okay enough. I'm not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. Which I feel like is saying something. How far has been booking out? Not far right now. That was a much nicer thing a little bit earlier on in the year. Things have tapered off quite a bit. I've had this shop since last October, so I'm really happy about the way I've been able to keep it so far. But I think I have something into early next week, and then nothing. So the appointments are slowly like coming in. I'm getting more referrals from people I've tinted for in the past. I'm getting some of their like they've gotten different vehicles or a second vehicle or whatever, sold theirs, gotten something different. So I'm seeing a lot more of that now. And general busy, not busy. So enough to kind of keep everything moving, which is really cool, but not enough to like feel super comfortable, especially because this isn't like we're not in full winter yet. But just like anything, any time, like people get over the weather and it'll be busy and then it'll slow down. This is one of those slumps. It does this a lot. But hopefully your trend overall is kind of like up. So you have slumps, unexplained, but one day it'll be super busy, and then the next week you just like, you lose all your momentum, and then it's just advertising, toughing it out a little bit, keep yourself busy with other things, or marketing or whatever, like be creative. That's as best as I can suggest. But that's why we were still at the glass shop last year. So those days, oh, come on, don't freeze again. There we go. Those days at the glass shop, I mean, that's why I didn't leave them when I opened this place up last year. We were just getting going. Now we're like 100% off. So it's like some of these built up weeks, I would have filtered Tuesdays and Fridays and just tried to isolate more people to the rest of the week. Opened my shop in October as well. Been pushed out a month since March. I'll take it while it lasts. Hey, congrats, man. Some people just get more business than others. I will say that. It could be your area. It could just be the way you're doing things, but keep it up. That's awesome. Not everybody's going to go through the same slowdowns, but, I mean, it's just, I've seen it in a bunch of places. What's this about protecting the family? It's a more clickbaity title. It's about doing ceramic on my minivan. Do you ever tint for Instagram shoutouts? Probably not. Because you gotta have a pretty hefty following that all wanna get tint for that to have any type of meaningful difference. So I noticed one small thing. Wasn't sure if you were investing in a Glock or tinting a minivan. Yep, I'm gonna say based on the way that it reconnects, we got signal issues with this thing, so I'll figure that out. So there's one squiggly little hair right here that I can see right now. That's right on the edge. As far as you can tell with everything else, maybe one right there that I can see. That's water. Everything else looks very good. That's amazing. Cool. Just adding bulletproof tint, nothing special. I've tried it. Or security film. We tried it through Avery. So Avery is manufactured in Israel, and it's a lot more common to do security film over there. And automotive, for obvious reasons. But it was cool, like they actually had it in a couple of different shades. So you could treat it like automotive. But it was, the stuff we were installing was 4mm. And, oh, that stuff was thick. So if you remove seals and stuff, you'd have a much easier time installing this stuff. Cut that stuff out on a plotter, drop it in, boom. You'd be great. Two-staging it just wasn't as friendly at all. But we weren't impressed with the product at the time. This was a handful of years ago, though, because it turned out to be look kind of blurry. The glue just didn't settle. I don't know, but I've always thought that was a really interesting angle. It's like automotive. You know, you could have like a security layer. I bet it would sell. Like, instead of like carbon ceramic for heat rejection, now you have like carbon ceramic, and then you also have like, well, we do have this security film if you're interested, and you could offer that at not like, I don't know, it didn't have to be much more expensive. But actually, 3 angles. Ugh. The signal loss is driving me crazy. Holy hell. But, I don't know. So you have like heat rejection, and then a good angle is also medical. So window film blocks out UV. And I always felt like that portion of it was really undersold. Nobody really talks about the medical benefits to it. And then you have like security. So all window film helps make your glass shatterproof, so little shards don't go everywhere. So that's kind of nice. Ooh, hell yeah. Do you like sun strips on your cars? Yeah, I'd usually put them on. I haven't done it really lately, though. I'll think about it with this one. I'm going to leave it off for now, but I'll think about putting a strip up here. It might be a bit much to, like, block all this out, because... yeah. I'm not the only one driving it. How long do clay bars last? You can use them for like 3-4 months, really. Like, you can get quite a bunch of use out of it. Where they're gonna start to discolor. They're gonna start to scuzz up a little bit. But you can constantly take them back to like the sink, warm them up, rinse them out, and they really only keep like the really super fine crap that discolors them, and they lose everything else. So you can use it, especially because you're using it on glass and not on paint. You can keep them for quite a long time. The ones that I have are white, so it's like a white towel, right? You can use a white towel. It's just, after a handful of times, it's not going to look as new as it once did after a handful of uses. I'm really happy with this windshield. This is one of the best ones I've been able to put out, I think. I mean, that Tacoma yesterday was also right up there with all the windshields that I've done. I can't even explain anything major that I've done to really help improve windshields, but just keep practicing. Wipe everything down. Have a good solid squeegee that really cleans the window. Doesn't leave little streaks behind or anything. Squeegee the outside. Before you peel it, be very conscious of the water running back into the windshield, stuff like that. Especially along those center points where a lot of water could just, like, even if you squeegeed it, could like just trail back in. Be really conscious about that stuff. Dang. I don't think I'm ever going to remove this windshield. This turned out really, really nice. Which is fully expecting something terrible to be like in the middle of it that I'm just like, wait, what is that? But I don't know. I can't find it. So just a real small hair, like a fuzz hair, like one of those really stringy airborne fuzz bits or something. That brushed out, and it was in a really good spot for it to happen. It wasn't in the middle. If it was in the middle, probably be a different story. But sorry about all the connection issues. Wish we had a happier stream overall, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. Oh, thank goodness. Those little water pockets that got pushed together, it almost looked like I missed some glue. I didn't see it on the outside, but I could see it on the inside. I was like, I didn't razor that far down, I don't think. Cool, nothing to worry about. Is that the only small speck right there? All right, sweet, that's not bad at all. What's your, oh, I don't know. Anyways, how's the weather? Are you doing the back half? I will be doing the back half, but not today. It's just, I gotta go pick some stuff up. I'm having all types of connection issues. I was a little undecided if I was going to do them, but we got this stuff done today. We'll be back another day for the rest of it. Those rear, the back three are super easy. The sliding doors, that's going to be something a little bit different entirely. So I'm going to try and tint them, I think 2-stage. I'm going to look into what it might take to pull the plastic covers. So like you have all this in the way. And I've tinted Caravans, I've tinted a couple of Siennas before. But those ones are not super fun. So I might have to take it apart or at least do some things to make it a little bit easier. I'm just going to look into it a little bit more if I do. I might even reach out to bottom-loading window tinters, see what they have to say about it. Maybe they already posted about it. That would be nice. Remove the bottom sweeps. Do you have to take off the panel to do that? There's a video floating around somewhere. All right, I'm gonna look for it. Or if somebody can find it, post it in my group and tag me. Because yeah, I don't really take much apart, so if I have to yank the whole panel apart, I'll just figure out another way to do it. I'm not going to bother with all that. But if it's relatively simple, then that's fine. Woo! It's turned out nice. I'm happy with it. All right, let's take out these seat covers and this kind of stuff. Pull that. And kick all that stuff over. This is my my double quarter windows. What a mistake. Ay. All right. Let's roll these back windows up and take a look at what we did. Woo! I was running around with my solar power meter too. So we got white on those front seats too, which is gonna kind of brighten this front up a little bit more. When those are always black, or when those are black, it kind of makes everything feel a little bit darker. There's a few things that make this lighter, and that's all the interior trim here on the sills and there. So if you look at some of the darker parts, and imagine that those were black, this is going to feel a little bit darker. 35 is not a super dark shade. But 50 on the windshield, 35 on the front doors, and then compared to 22 on the back, I'm still a little undecided on how dark I want to go on the back. I'm thinking I might just I'm either going to do a 20% and bring it down to limo, or I'm going to do a 35% ceramic over the back and drop it down a little bit more. But I think I want to darken up this a little bit more just because how much glass is there. But no matter what we do, it's still, at the end of the day, it's a minivan. There's only so much of it we can do. But I think this is much better than not having it at all. It's going to be much more comfortable to drive with. We're going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do about this This has been hiccuping on me all day. Looks like the stream actually did okay as far as drop frames, so that's kind of nice. But I don't know. As far as I can tell, let me try one more thing. Seeing any drop things. It was mostly when I was like running around the car and stuff. I'm gonna say this wireless HDMI transmitter is probably not working very well anymore. So we'll probably have to swap it out. But do the good old Amazon order and return. I found a video on how to remove sweeps on the bottom of Tint Facebook. Can you tag me? That'd be super helpful. Do I have sound now? Well, we tried. Okay. Sorry, I had to switch all my inputs and stuff like that too, so I totally forgot. Thank you for the reminder. This mic is completely separate from the other one. And with all those, yeah, I'm not even going to try and explain it. Not even going to try. But what was I saying? There's a significant delay, I think, now. Anyways, so the LS 550, I literally was talking about it for a little bit. I don't have a good way to tint those without pulling anything. It's just, you're kind of scraping against that speaker regardless. It's not a good thing. On, what was it? IS 350? Or, I don't know. There was one, if I hear the model, I'll remember it, but it was like the 06-ish range. I saw what it took to take that panel apart, and then you basically have to remove the whole panel to remove the sweep. Or you could remove the sweep, and then, but in order to put the sweep back in, you have to literally remove the whole panel, and it like matches up in a weird way. You got to do kind of all that. Some of those Lexuses are just, if they're that tight at the front, you got to remove some stuff. Unless you just want to try a bunch of times and then you'll have like a mediocre result. I don't know. I wasn't super happy the last time I tried to do one. The first live stream I've been to, definitely coming back. Well, thank you. LS 300? Okay. Oh, I think it was an LS 250? It was 250 or something. LS 250? The 250. The older ones. Yep. That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm not even going to try and bring up my desktop right now. Maybe I will. You guys want to look at the car upside down? Yeah. So this one right here, there's a whole bunch of crap going on, but this type of one right here, that one, not fun. The newer ones, like I did an ES350 or an ES250, those panels legitimately pop back, seals come right out. Like there's one little thing you have to do on the side, but you don't need screws or anything. Those ones way easier, so much better. But just the older models are not fun. Did you get the recliner seats for the back? Yeah, was that not an option? I was looking through all the features with this thing, dude. Those back seats. So it's got 3 rows, obviously because it's a fan. The back seats will go like, it's crazy. And the 2 captain's chairs in the middle, they slide way back. It's cool. I like it. Had trouble with a 2010 IS250. Yep, same here. Not fun. So I would recommend yanking all that stuff apart. I don't like to do it, so I literally told the guy no. But, whatever. It sometimes is how it is. Tag. Oh, somebody did tag me. Okay, let me see if I can find this really quick, because that's helpful. If somebody made... oh, this might be... Was that... over print? Okay. This is super cool. Sorry. I just saw... hang on, let me bring up my desktop here, and then we'll just get rid of the... I don't know. What do we do about this camera? It's just kind of silly right now. We'll just leave it there. Whatever. Canon SL2. There we go. So this is cool. This is a GeoShield TintWiz collab hoodie right here over on TintWiz. That would be probably why I just got asked about a hoodie. GeoShield window films. That's cool. I like that. They've been doing a lot on all over hoodies. They got mine on here too. Hoodies. No, where's the collab ones? Lifestyle, support. Oh, no. Shop. Sorry, I'm getting lost in their own store. Oh, that's different. Dang, where's all their stuff? Apparel. Maybe it'll pull it up in all this. I don't know. They used to have, they probably do somewhere, and I just can't find it. But they had like all over print hoodies that were pretty sick. Mine were on here too. I just can't find them right now. But that was really cool. Maybe they did something. Anyways, yes sir. Oh, cool. All right. Somebody was tagging me, so. It's not there. Okay. Desktop. GoPro. There we go. Use the search. Sorry, I'm getting pulled in like 50 little directions here. Somebody said they were tagging me though in a post from bottom loading window tinters. Is your warranty transfer? Oh. Oh, this one. Oh, look at that. He did. Sweet. Okay, so we're going to take a little gander over here really quick. Desktop. Look at this. All right. So this is a video
pop back.
in
So
the
I'm just
bottom
gonna take
loading
that
window
out real
tinters
quick.
group.
This just pops up from the front with your pry tool, pull out. The screw is very shallow, so just be careful not to drop it.
There. Oh, so you can drop it. Oops. Thanks for that. I definitely appreciate that little tip for sure. It's one of those things where I'll definitely like, oops. I'm gonna go look at this.
So now I'm just gonna close the door.
I wonder if this is different.
Start from where the panel meets the rubber.
That's not bad.
Now you'll notice the sweep and the plastic accent piece are one.
What? Oh. Oh, holy shit. I see now. Oh, goddamn. I can
So
see
we have it.
fitment. So there's a switch here. Okay. That's a 19. This one. So that's a 19. Before I end, we're just gonna go look really quick. I don't know if there's a difference, but this is restyled, so let me just look at this really quick. There. My switch is all the way back here. The switch was up here, but there still might be some similarities between the design. It just might move some stuff around. So this pops back. This will probably hide a bolt here. I don't know about all this, but this has like the same type of cover here. And then you always kind of just look for pockets like that. But this, I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking. Where's the... There. All right. Well, that was fun. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. That's about as close as I'm gonna see, I think, right now. Yeah, mine's a 22. There's a lot of similarities, but there are some changes. But that's one of those things where it's like I wouldn't have known if I hadn't seen the last year between them. I have no idea. It's a brand new vehicle to me, so I had no idea that part was connected, but I had a feeling like there was something more there when I asked somebody to remove it a while back. But it's been a while. I appreciate that a lot. That's cool. So I probably will make a post and ask if anybody has done that one yet or has any recommendations. That's always help. Go rent one and play with it, right? Okay, so we're going to shout out some super chats. The camera was still glitching out on me. Man, what a frustrating day this was. At least we got a good tint job out of it. Thank you all for hanging out with me for the headache that all was. So big shout out to Sean, Jorge, Jose, Daniel. Much appreciate the support. I'm gonna buy another HDMI transmitter, but I'm gonna try and hot swap the boxes there. Cause good Lord, I've been using this thing for like a year now, I think. This is a $650 piece right here. Transmitter and receiver. More than the GoPro. More than all of it. And I don't know. Best I can tell, it's just having signal issues. And I have no idea how to fix it. It's one of those things that maybe a firmware update, but if it didn't need one before, I don't know why it would need one now all of a sudden. We put it through a lot. And not surprisingly, it's worn itself out. Do you only use Geo? Yes. Yes, I can use other ones, but I pretty much exclusively use Geo, just because I like their films. They're good. They've been really good. So we did Pro Nano, 50 on the windshield, 35 on the front doors. I'm going to go drive it around. And by that, I mean I'm literally going to go get more baby formula and then head home. So thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. Next stream is going to be on Saturday, and hopefully I can fix this issue in the meantime. I don't know if I'll be able to get a replacement soon enough. Other than that, I'm not really sure. So keep your fingers crossed for Saturday. Hopefully there'll be a stream, but if not, you know why. And thank you again. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye. This was what your